to be fair, a couple weeks ago,
that's all you can control.
Yeah.
I turned it around trying to get some Chiefs magic. Like we're trying to spread the goodwill, you know?
Glitter, football chaos, feral kids, and a wax the memory away confession. Welcome to the mess. First up, Taylor Swift turns Este Haim's wedding into a full-blown golden sparkle moment. Then, Kylie Kelce hilariously calls out Jason Kelce for taking Eagles fandom a little too seriously.
Why do you always take it one step too far?
And if that wasn't enough, Kylie also exposes her daughter's gross but iconic habits during flu season.
They are absolutely disgusting. Germs are everywhere, especially with these tiny humans.
Finally, Travis admits he'd rather endure a very painful grooming situation than relive his reality TV past.
Would you rather be forced and tortured catching Kelce on a loop for the rest of your life or get Brazilian waxed like Jason?
I'd rather get Brazilian waxed.
New Year's Eve usually comes with the usual suspects. Questionable party hats, people yelling New Year, New Me while holding a drink that says otherwise, and at least one friend insisting they can totally pull off sequins. But this time, the sequins pulled everyone, because Taylor Swift basically moonwalked into Este Haim's wedding looking like a walking champagne sparkle bomb. On Wednesday night, December 31st, the opalite crooner made a full-on main character entrance at her longtime friend's star-studded nuptials. An insider said the energy instantly shifted from cute wedding vibes to, wait, is this a red carpet? She didn't just show up, she arrived, like the final boss of festive glam, dressed in a glittering gold sequin gown that shimmered like it had its own lighting crew. The dress had a plunging neckline and a flowy pleated skirt that basically begged for a dramatic spin. If the goal was to look like a golden disco goddess who casually wandered in from a fabulous alternate universe, mission accomplished. Her accessories were giving effortless but make it expensive. She rocked statement earrings that did most of the talking, a tan shawl draped over her arms like she was about to whisper a secret and disappear into the night, and a matching handbag that tied everything together like the cherry on top of a very sparkly sundae. It wasn't loud in a chaotic way, it was loud in a, yes, I know I look incredible, and yes, I'm going to pretend I didn't plan this way. Honestly, if glitter had a national anthem, this outfit would have been it. And because the universe loves drama and iconic pairings, Swift was also spotted hanging out with Stevie Nicks at the ceremony. Stevie, keeping it effortlessly legendary, showed up in a black ensemble, because of course she did. Sources describe the vibe between them as the kind of casually powerful that makes you want to sit up straighter and reconsider your entire wardrobe. Imagine being in a room where Taylor Swift is gleaming in gold and Stevie Nicks is radiating witchy rock star greatness. That's not a wedding guest list, that's a pop culture flex. Of course, this wasn't some random celebrity cameo. Taylor and Este are famously close, and people who have been around them for years say it's the kind of friendship that's both genuine and creative. They've known each other for ages, and their bond has been sealed through collaborations, including tracks like No Body, No Crime and Gasoline, plus onstage moments that had fans screaming like it was a life or death situation. They've always clicked, not just as artists, but as real friends, the kind who show up for big moments and make them even bigger. Naturally, fans lost their minds the second photos and clips hit social media. People were throwing compliments around like confetti, with one calling her elegant, another basically demanding the dress immediately like it's a basic human right, and others joking that she looked so good she nearly outshone the bride, which, to be fair, is a wild statement to make at a wedding, but also, have you seen the gown? Another fan summed up the collective emotional damage by saying being in a room with both Taylor and Stevie would be too powerful to survive. And while the glitter and star power are still fresh in everyone's mind, the Kelce household is proving that New Year's energy doesn't stop at champagne and sequins, it just morphs into full-blown Eagles chaos, with Kylie Kelce trying to keep Jason Kelce from turning game day into a dramatic one-man Broadway show. Kylie doesn't call Jason out because she's mad, she calls him out because she loves him, she knows him, and she has front-row seats to the fact that this man's Eagles obsession has gone from passionate fan to Sir Please Breathe levels. Even after retirement, Jason still watches Philadelphia games like he's personally responsible for the final score, like Coach Sirianni is going to text him mid-drive asking for notes. Sources swear the intensity hasn't faded at all. If anything, it's evolved into something louder, funnier, and sometimes just a bit too much, like a dad joke that refuses to die. Kylie, of course, is no stranger to the emotional roller coaster either. She's been riding the Eagles' highs and lows alongside him for years, and apparently she's developed her own survival tactics. During a recent episode of New Heights, she admitted she has a superstition for when things start going sideways. She literally turns away from the TV, like full I cannot watch this with my eyeballs mode.
To be fair, a couple weeks ago,
That's all you can control.
Yeah.
I turned it around trying to get some Chiefs magic. Like we're trying to spread the goodwill, you know?
She treats it like a serious sacrifice too, because she wants to watch, but she's convinced her refusal might somehow tilt the football gods in Philly's favor. It's giving wholesome. It's giving I'm doing my part. It's giving if I don't look, maybe they'll stop fumbling.
It's a selfless act. It's a selfless act because it's like
It's a sacrifice.
It
It's
is
a sacrifice of your own fandom.
Yes, because I'm like, I want to watch this so badly.
And that's where the chaos really took off. Jason, being Jason, immediately heard sacrifice and thought, how can we take this to a level that makes everyone uncomfortable? He leaned right into it, asking how they could up the sacrifice since the Eagles were still losing.
So how can we up this sacrifice?
Travis Kelce, because he's basically the human embodiment of stirring the pot, tossed in a suggestion that they should just black out the games. And Jason? Jason went full unhinged comedian and jumped straight to the most extra idea possible, implying his mind went to animal sacrifice. Because of course it did. Why take the exit ramp when you can drive directly into a bizarre alternate universe?
Sounds like you guys got to black out the games.
That's a big time sacrifice. I was going like animal sacrifice. That's how I went in my head.
Kylie was instantly not amused. Her reaction was basically the verbal equivalent of putting her hand up like, stop right there. She called him out for always taking things one step too far, which honestly could be stitched on a pillow and gifted to every wife who's ever watched her husband get carried away with literally anything.
Why do you always take it one step too far?
But Travis, still fanning the flames, pushed again and asked what animal would even be sacrificed. Jason, continuing his chaotic streak, joked about a cat. Cue laughter, but also cue Kylie rolling her eyes so hard you could probably hear it from across the state line.
I'd be willing to sacrifice a cat.
And then even Travis had to be like, okay, that one was too much, because when Travis Kelce becomes the voice of reason, you know the conversation has officially left the group chat and entered dangerous territory.
That was uncalled for, but hilarious.
Still, this is exactly why people are obsessed with the Kelces outside of football. It's the mix of honesty, teasing, and Kylie being the CEO of boundaries. Jason can be intense, Travis can be chaotic, and Kylie is there like, all right, clowns, wrap it up. It feels real, it feels funny, and it also shows just how seriously Jason still takes the Eagles, even now that he's retired and living that analyst life. And now, Kylie Kelce is bringing that same unfiltered energy to parenting because she just went on Instagram and jokingly called her 4 daughters absolutely disgusting. And somehow, it was the most relatable thing on the internet. Kylie is basically the patron saint of I love my kids, but wow, they're feral, and she's not even trying to pretend otherwise. In a new Instagram video, she popped up like she was about to drop a tactical briefing, except instead of football plays, it was cold and flu season defense strategy. Kylie admitted she's a hardcore germaphobe, so in her mind, this time of year isn't festive, it's biological warfare.
All right, bring it in, team. It's cold and flu season, and I'm a big-time germaphobe.
And in classic Kylie fashion, she framed herself as the defensive coordinator of the Kelce household, basically saying she refuses to get blindsided by viruses this year. Honestly, the way she talks about germs, you'd think she's about to slap a helmet on Purell and send it into battle.
You could say I'm the defensive coordinator of the Kelce household. I refuse to get blindsided this year.
But the reason she's on high alert? Her kids. And according to Kylie, these tiny humans are moving like they were raised by raccoons with excellent confidence. She casually listed off the kind of things that make every parent nod while every non-parent gasp. One of her daughters apparently licks crackers off the ground and then tries to feed them to Kylie like it's a Michelin star tasting menu.
4 kids, 2 in school, one who licks crackers off the ground and tries to feed them to me.
Another one allegedly ate dog food by accident, which is both horrifying and also deeply on brand for a household with children and at least 1 dog. Kylie basically looked at the camera like, yep, I birthed them. Yes, I love them. No, I don't understand them.
Another one who accidentally ate dog food. They are absolutely disgusting. Germs are everywhere, especially with these tiny humans.
And speaking of the Kelce universe being one giant comedy special with plot twists, Travis is now admitting he'd rather get a Brazilian wax in the most cursed way possible than relive his most controversial TV era. One fan question came in like a missile aimed straight at Travis's dignity. The listener basically asked what he'd choose, being forced to watch Catching Kelce on an endless loop for the rest of his life, or getting Brazilian waxed like Jason, and Travis didn't even blink. He immediately chose the wax like it was the obvious, sane option, which tells you everything you need to know about how much he regrets that show.
Would you rather be forced and tortured watching Catching Kelce on a loop for the rest of your life or get Brazilian waxed like Jason?
I'd rather get Brazilian waxed.
Imagine preferring pain, screaming, and your soul leaving your body over watching your own past decisions in HD. Jason, who already survived a Brazilian wax earlier this year for a Speedo-heavy charity moment in Philly, apparently backed him up with the energy of a man who's been through the trenches and lived to tell the tale. Travis, meanwhile, doubled down and basically confirmed he'd rather sacrifice his entire lower region than sit through that dating show again. Yes, he really went there. The internet didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or call a dermatologist.
Yeah, I'd rather just get my gooch waxed.
This, of course, reopened the Catching Kelce conversation, the 2016 reality dating show where Travis dated 50 women, one from each U.S. state, in a very what could possibly go wrong setup. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.